One of the best kennel clubs in the United States is right here in north central Washington. The Wenatchee World newspaper recognized WKC as world's best dog training business. The American Kennel Club recognized the work of the Wenatchee Kennel Club with the 2018 Public Education Award. This award acknowledges work that engages, facilitates, and conveys the ongoing importance of the relationships between people and canines through education and outreach. WKC was presented a $500 check and a plaque. The American Kennel Club featured WKC in AKC Communicates. The local club is the Wenatchee Kennel Club. The Wenatchee Kennel Club has been serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanogan counties since the 1960s. Initially, a small group of dog lovers met in homes and public meeting rooms and trained dogs and educated handlers in good weather. In 2002, the 36 members voted to lease an indoor facility in East Wenatchee where they could meet, train year-round, and store files and equipment.
The Wenatchee Kennel Club this year opened a training center over in East Wenatchee. We offer classes for people for puppies and agility and obedience and all sorts of things. So people can go and do things with their dogs and find out that's kind of fun to do. And then you can go and be involved in events like this. About 15 years ago, we had a strategic planning session. What are we going to do to try and move forward as an organization? We had 35 members in the club. They were getting older, and how are we going to survive? And that's a story that is not unique to the Wenatchee Kennel Club. And out of that came a vision for opening a training center with a twofold purpose. One was to provide a place for that our club members could go and work their dogs and practice and become more competitive. The other aspect we wanted to explore was offering classes to the general public. Things like puppy classes, basic home obedience, those sorts of things. So you could build a stronger bond between the people and their dogs. And if people have a stronger bond and they can do positive things together, then they like to do more things, and we don't end up with more dogs in the shelter because people are frustrated because their dogs are behaving poorly. That's the same mission we have today, some 15 years later. The benefit for the club is 15 years ago, we had 35 members in the club. We've got 150 or 60 members in the club today. And that's because we're offering classes, we're giving people opportunity to learn about different things to do with their dogs. I've seen over the years lots of club members that they start in one discipline and pretty quick they're off doing other things with their dogs that they never envisioned that they would. So the payoff for that is membership in the club has grown. We're more stable than we were 15 years ago. And we're seeing over the years that benefit in the community. I think, if I remember right, over the years we've had in classes some between 3,000 and 3,500 individual dogs and their owners. We're not training the dogs, we're training the owners how to work with their dogs. Because dogs will do just about anything we ask them to do if we ask them the right way. We have a slogan in our club that our purpose is education, training, and competition. The competition follows the education and the training because you need to understand how to work with your dog, find an activity to train your dog in, and then there's, you name the kind of competition, it's out there, whether it's through American Kennel Club or some other kinds of things. We have club members that actively compete in about a dozen to 15 different types of events, from conformation to obedience to rally to agility to barn hunt to scent work to tracking to lure coursing, fly ball, freestyle, spilling over into therapy dog and hospice dog work and a hunt test. And that it's kind of fun to just kind of stand back and watch people get involved in things. And that's what it's all about.
For a full list of current offerings, check the WKC website. WKC members have successfully competed in American Kennel Club breed and agility shows and trials, including the Westminster Dog Show and the Eukanuba National Championships. The club celebrated the first member to earn a MACH, Master Agility Champion. Awards for dog competitions include ribbons, bars and plaques, and trophies. Other awards are presented at the annual dinner meeting in January. All breeds and all American dogs are welcome.
This is Ellie. She's one of my champion Tibetan Spaniels that I showed years ago. She's 14 years old, and she just loves to get out and about. And Tibetan Spaniels are an interesting breed. They're very cat-like in their demeanor. They're tend to be aloof, a little standoffish with people. They're incredibly independent, and yet they're very intuitive in their thinking. If they want something, they'll patiently figure out how they can get it. And it might be a day, a week, or a month, or a year later, but they'll figure it out. They came from Tibet, and they're an old breed. They're about 3,000 years old. They're actually the ancestors of Lhasa Apsos, a breed that a lot of people are more familiar with. But these guys didn't come to the United States till the 1960s. So they're a relatively new breed. And Ellie's she's a real good example of the breed. They've got a little shorter muzzle, and typically they're known for having ear fringes, and they'll have feathers on their feet. Sometimes you'll actually breed for that. It's a desirable characteristic. My story with Ellie is a lot like a lot of dog show stories. That had a friend of mine that had Tibetan Spaniels, and she said, I had one of the top ones in the country at the time that I was showing, and she said, I've got a litter that I bred, and the pedigrees would match up. If you want one of the girls, you can have one. And so I got my pick of the litter, and Ellie did really well showing. Her first show was at the Tibetan Spaniel National. And at 6 months old, on her 6-month birthday, the first time in the ring, she went reserve winner's bitch at the National, which means she was the #2 female at the Tibetan Spaniel National show. She walked in the ring and she owned it. So that's Ellie. She's a good girl.
My name's Kathy Storrs. This is Rex. He's a new member of our family from the Humane Society. He's going to be 2 years old in November, and we are his 4th family. Might be easier if I take my mask off. I took him to obedience training at the Kennel Club. Oh, this is our grandma dog, Ginger. She's 14. And Rex has brought her back to life. She was kind of a mess when we lost our last dog. So now she's lively as a 14-year-old can get anyway. We just got a DNA test back on Rex. He's 7 different breeds, starting with Boxer on top. We were sure he had Lab. He has no Lab. He has a little bit of Rottweiler, hence the black hair. He has webbed feet. The only dog in his whole past family tree that has webbed feet is a golden retriever. It's like 8%. Considering his history, he's an amazingly good dog. He comes when you call him 90% of the time. It was 100% at first, but it's kind of dwindled a little. He heals with this collar. He heals quite well. He does leave it quite well. I put treats on the floor and make him sit down and not touch him until you say okay. Yeah, he's probably the easiest dog to train I've ever had. I highly recommend the classes for the Kennel Club. They were really fun and educational. I'm not a Kennel Club member, but we have friends that are in the Kennel Club, and I found out about the obedience classes because we wanted to take Rex to obedience class, and I got signed up right after we got him and just finished a couple weeks ago. And he got his Canine Good Citizen certification, which was kind of cool, and passed the classes with flying colors. And so I just may join the Kennel Club. You never know.
WKC runs on volunteers. 24 instructors donate their time, teaching and staying up to date on current rules and techniques. The all-volunteer 8-member board brings expertise in all things dog and includes skills in management, long-range planning, legal affairs, journalism, computer science, and financial and office skills. All are substantial donors to WKC. The building committee celebrated when the nonprofit 501c3 status was granted. WKC is silver level on GuideStar, the most complete, up-to-date nonprofit data website. Volunteers made the training center a reality by planning carefully, working through all code requirements, and hiring needed professionals. Members handled moving out of the rented space, storing supplies and equipment, and opening the new training center. Work parties managed laying out and hooking up the irrigation, property cleanup, and implementing the landscape design. The professional landscape designers are WKC members who donated their talents. Community activities include wagon tails, an East Wenatchee tradition for people to observe dogs perform. Apple Blossom Youth Day in the park is a popular opportunity for kids and adults to have one-on-one interaction with dogs and their owners. The displays and demonstrations by WKC members and their dogs are the headliners at Dog Days, a family show at Town Toyota Center. It provides the public an opportunity to try out dog sports. Included are breed displays and agility demonstrations. WKC volunteers entertain seniors with dog agility demonstrations and doggy costume parties. The training center is also a party location. The October member meeting includes a costume competition and bobbing for treats. The neighborhood was invited to a holiday open house, and a prize was awarded to the winner of the Ugly Sweater Contest. In 2014, the board appointed a committee to find a site for a training center. Initially, the site committee explored renting warehouse space. None was available. The board redirected the committee to find land on which to build an indoor training arena and 2 outdoor rings. The requirements were 2+ acres in the greater Wenatchee area. The building committee searched Chelan and Douglas counties and explored 100 sites and researched over 60 properties. Each site was evaluated in terms of size, terrain, location, access, site preparation, utilities, and zoning. The property outlined in green is 2.5 acres and relatively flat. It fit the training center requirements and it is zoned commercial. Where exactly is the property? Just off Rock Island Road at 200 First Street Southeast in East Wenatchee. 2018 was the year of the dog. For WKC, the progress toward building a training center can be summarized in 18 giant steps. Number 18. The East Wenatchee City Council approved WKC's request to defer requirements for curb, gutter, and storm sewer. Number 17. Temporary homes included members' barns and fields and Appalachie. Members jumped for joy when Localtel made a huge space available in the old federal building. It was a balancing act of meeting code requirements, signing contracts, financing, paying fees, and maintaining WKC classes. Number 16. Amazing teamwork was demonstrated by the board, the building committee, Western Ranch, Forte Architects, Forsgren Engineering, Pipkin Construction, and Merriman Landscape Design. The contract with Western Ranch was signed in April. Number 15. Fundraisers.
Wenatchee Kennel Club has land where I go to be in school. Do fence me in.
Do Fence Me In tribute plaques will be posted on the training center fence. Blue Moon Glass Art donated Blue Boy for a raffle. A garage sale was successful. Donations to the building fund will be recognized with a donor plaque in the training center. Number 14. A 2.5 acre property in East Wenatchee was identified that met WKC needs. A land lease with option to buy became effective March 1st. Number 13. The property has irrigation water. Douglas County records show 4 3/4-inch taps. It is affordable to keep the grass green and the plants and trees happy. Number 12. Junk cleanup. Many club members volunteered equipment, time, and talent to clean up the junk that has been accumulated on this vacant land since the 1880s. The recycling center paid almost $75 for 2 loads of scrap metal. Number 11. SEPA, State Environmental Policy Act. The required SEPA form was completed and submitted to the City of East Wenatchee. Number 10. Building permit. Tanya Davis of Western Ranch submitted the building permit application to the City of East Wenatchee on June 26th. Number 9. The environmental comment period ended without comment or complaint. Number 8. The water and sewer districts approved the plans. Number 7. Realtor Pam Cook sold the WKC property on Lower Monitor Road after the hearing examiner ruled against the proposed use. Number 6. The City of East Wenatchee approved the WKC building permit September 27th. Number 5. The East Wenatchee neighbors liked WKC, and WKC likes the neighbors. Road Tractor has given deep discounts to WKC on equipment rentals. Several neighbors have expressed appreciation for the acreage being cleaned up, landscaped, and made firewise. Number 4. Pipkin Construction was on site in 15 days, preparing the staging area ready for the building. The steel for the building was delivered 5 days later. That's teamwork. Number 3. Groundbreaking was celebrated less than a month after the building permit was issued. Australian Shepherd Ginger did a stylish weave through the shovels.
The Wenatchee Kennel Club will soon have a new home. Earlier today, the club broke ground on its new facility at 200 First Street Southeast in East Wenatchee.
Thank you for coming. This is a big day for us. This has been in the works for years, and so to finally get out here and be able to put a shovel in the ground is like so exciting.
A host of dignitaries, neighbors, club members, and the press joined the celebration. Some members have been on this quest more than 15 years. Number 2. The construction sign was put in place as required by the City of East Wenatchee. Number 1. Construction. The most exciting WKC achievement in 2018. Club members and friends and neighbors watched as construction progressed into 2019.
Live at the Wenatchee Kennel Club.
WKC resumed classes under new guidelines after COVID canceled classes for 4 months. The October scent work trial is approved at the Chelan County Fairgrounds. COVID canceled WKC's 2 biggest 2020 events. But the smiles and fun of the dog show and the agility trials will return. Learn more about the Wenatchee Kennel Club. Visit their website.